Now, back by popular demand, it's the Lance Roberts Show.
Good morning. It is 6:07 as we get your Monday underway and kind of get this week going. Hope you had a nice weekend. Kind of off and on weather this weekend, at least here in Houston. It was rainy, and then yesterday it was really nice and pretty outside, and then so we'll see what this week looks like. But as I say, if you don't like the weather, hang around a minute. It'll change.
Never boring.
Exactly. So I learned an important lesson this weekend.
What was that, Lance?
Never tell your kids you have life insurance.
Did they try to off you?
Well, no. It was funny because we were going to dinner, and it's my daughter's 16th birthday this weekend. Actually, it's actually her birthday today.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, sweet 16. Although I'm not sure about the sweet part, but. At 16, it's more when they're 15, 16, they're more salty than sweet. So
they're sweet and sour.
Exactly. So anyway, happy birthday. That's awesome. But so no, we're in the car, we're going to dinner. And so I made the comment, there was a story on the radio talking about the guy had passed away, left money, blah, blah, blah. And so I looked at my wife and I said, yes, if you ever off me, you'll be a wealthy woman because of my life insurance. And so my wife and I were joking about it in the front car. There's a movie called This Is 40. And in one of the scenes in the movie, the husband asked the wife, he says, well, if you were going to kill me, how would you do it? And she says, cupcakes. Because every morning he would sneak he was supposed to throw the cupcakes away in the garbage, but he'd go outside instead of putting them in the garbage, he'd eat them by the garbage can. Yeah. She said, I'd poison your cupcakes that you eat every morning that you're not supposed to eat. And then she asked him, she goes, well, how would you do me? And he goes, wood chipper. Which is the old throwback to Fargo. Yeah. And so we're in the car, we're talking about this, and so my son's in the back seat, and he pipes up, and he goes, well, you are getting older. And so the kids figure out that if I die and my wife dies, they get the money because of the family trust, right? And so now I've got all four kids in the back seat trying to plot the demise of their parents. So I'm telling you this live on the air today so that if anything happens to me, my kids go.
So kids, if anything happens, you're the first suspect.
Exactly right. So, but never tell your kids you have life insurance. It may not turn out well. Anyway, a lot of things.
I like the sound effect for the wood chipper.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, don't have a wood chipper near your house either. All right, so futures are pointing. Well, kind of mixed today. We got some up, some down, kind of going on. Everybody's still trying to kind of figure out kind of what's been going on here as of late, and Brexit's on again, off again, on again, off again. We're off again right now, and in fact, more and more individuals in Brexit are just saying, you know what? Forget having a deal. Let's just exit. Let's just be done with it. Move on. I mean, because this has been going on for 3 years now. And people are starting to get to the point where they're just like, let's be done with this. Let's just move on. I'm tired of talking about it. It's kind of like trade talk. Every week we have new comments about, we're getting closer to trade. Great. We ever going to get a deal done? That would be nice. Let's just get this done and over with. Eventually, someday, we'll have a deal. Maybe. I don't know. But it's every week. It's kind of these same headlines, same stories every week. But there were a couple of stories last week that were kind of interesting. One was Donald Trump coming out talking about the Fed should lower interest rates and start more quantitative easing. Now, this is interesting because this is on the back of what appeared to be, at least on the surface, a very strong employment report on Friday. On Friday, we had 196,000 jobs created. Woo. Great. Everybody's all excited about this. We've averaged about 180,000 jobs in the first quarter. Good number. But in a strong economic environment, and assuming that the employment report is indeed as strong as it sounded, and we've got some analysis on that today. If you go by our website, realinvestmentadvice.com, We actually have a full breakdown on the employment report from Friday and what is actually the more important numbers to be looking at about what's happening in the real economy. Also explains why wage growth remains muted, personal incomes remain muted, and GDP remains muted because the employment growth is not actually keeping up with the rate of population growth. The one thing that people never talk about is it's great that we're hiring people. This is awesome. But you have to hire people faster than you're adding people to the population, the working age population, those over the age of 16. And we're not doing that. Actually, there's about a 7 million person gap since 2009. We've added about 7 million more people to the working age population, people that are over the age of 16 able to work. We've added 7 million more people to the population than we've actually created in jobs since 2009. So this explains a lot of why it's been so frustrating to get really strong economic growth back up to 4 or 5% growth rates. We've gotten used to this 2 to 3% growth, and we're now talking about, hey, man, we can get to 3% growth. That would be great. That's still one of the lowest rates of of economic growth that we've had throughout history. The average economic growth rate throughout history has run over 4.5%. So, getting to 3, while that sounds like a fantastic, job, which we did for one quarter last year, isn't really that much of an achievement when you look at where we should be economic growth-wise. So, but we did a lot of analysis today. It's on the website now. If you go by realinvestmentadvice.com, and we go through all the numbers, looking at employment of our president, et cetera. And what we have going on right now, employment-wise, again, it was a good report on Friday, but you really have to start digging down into the details of what's happening with the trend of data. And the trend of the employment data is clearly showing an economy that is beginning to slow. And this has a lot to do with what the yield curve, as we've been talking about here on the show a lot lately, has been talking about, and could be the very reason why Trump came out on Friday. We'll talk more about this after the break, but why Trump came out and started suggesting that the Fed begin cutting interest rates now and doing quantitative easing now. Why would he do that? We'll talk about that after the break. Don't go away.
Get daily investment news you can use, delivered at the speed of the internet. Sign up for Lance's newsletter now at lancerobertshow.com.